So I get to talk about marketing. I get to talk about promotion. I get to talk about tickets. So Howard Ruff, hugely successful individual, quote, he says it like this: if I could teach my kids one skill and one skill only, it would be the skill of marketing. For with that one skill, they would be successful at whatever they choose. And if you think about it, that's why we're called Market America. Not Sell America, not Convince America, not drag people through the door America, but we are Market America. You guys are awesome. Look at that. So when we think about marketing, tickets, and promotion, there's a few things that have to fall into place. So many of you guys are local district and regional coordinators. Some of you guys are in the Speakers Bureau. And so this goes twofold. We have to have great communication with our upcoming speakers. You can't wait till they show up, come to the event, and then say, okay, what are we doing here? You need to be speaking well in advance in order to set the expectations, like Stacy was talking about earlier. We got to set expectations, you guys, on what we want our speaker to do. Now, depending upon the caliber of speaker that we're inviting in, we're going to manage our expectations. So if somebody's a newer speaker, am I going to rely on them as being the only person that pushes my people into a ticket break? Yes or no? No, probably not. However, if they're an experienced speaker, I make them sell the tickets into the ticket break. If you look at my agendas, I let my speakers know when they come in. I say, I expect you to be my superstar. My area hears from my leaders all the time. And I'm paying you big money to come in, and therefore, you're going to sell my next event out. Great or great? Great. Yeah, see, so I'm setting the expectations that I have confidence in them that we're going to be able to sell out that next event. If I don't tell them to that up front, and then I drop it on them, or they get to a ticket break and they say, oh, by the way, so we have a great seminar coming up. Benson Chen is coming to town. He's great, so go get your tickets. I mean, seriously, that's what happens sometimes. And I'm sitting there like, as a local coordinator, I'd be sitting there and all of a sudden I'm like, oh gosh, I got to go do something, That is not what should have happened. So in some cases, I may even talk to them a little bit about what this promotion looks like and maybe some suggestions on things that they can do in order to make this promotion awesome. One key element to make it awesome is explaining what the GMTSS is about. And I think one of the best, a lot of people do a great job, but one of the best is Andy Webb. And I basically I'm really like a culmination of stealing something from everybody probably in this room, okay? And Andy Webb is great at explaining how we're all going to grow into the bullseye, and this is our office rent. Have you guys ever heard him do this? All right, some of you guys, anybody not heard that? Some of you guys haven't heard it, okay? So the GMTSS is like having our storefront if you had a physical presence. All of us are coming together to the GMTSS events, and that's our office space for that day. So if it's a local seminar, our office rent for the day would be $30 if I sold my tickets. If I didn't sell my tickets, it could be $100 if I got 4 tickets for $100. That would be my office rent for that day. That is my day to work. Why? Like in our area, this is why we're a fan of doing the lunch break, because again, if I'm paying big money to have a speaker come into our area, I'm not rushing anybody. We're going to stay and we're going to over-deliver on who we are as a company. Right? Everybody with me on that? Yep. I want to over-deliver on who we are as a company. And look, I've tried it both ways, with cutting the lunch out and then with the lunch. Our area loves having the lunch, and we get to network, we get to hang out. And then we get to plan what's coming up at the lunch break in the homes. We're going to be building in the homes. So this is the number one thing we need to be focused on at the lunch break. So I'm a fan of that. But in pushing people, if we have guests in the room and they're learning that our office rent is plugging in event to what? Event. To what? Event. Thank you. Then that's what they're like, wow, this is really cool. They have a system and structure that I don't have to be that smart, and I can still succeed. As long as I plug in event to what? Event. Thank you. See, so we set the precedence, and so I'm building up on it, and I explain what the GMTSS is. But everything is one thing. It's energy. What is it, please? Energy. Thank you. So it's energy. So as you're building up into the ticket break, you have to raise, what's that word? Raise. Thank you. You guys are awesome, man. See, it's all about playing at 100%. Always. And right now, we're all in the element. We're all in the environment. You can feel, I'm just telling Mike, I'm sitting up here, I'm like, I can feel a way different energy in what we're putting on here today than at many of the locals. Many of the major events, if I'm being fully transparent. People are like delivering all they got, 100% effort, and we're freaking checking Instagram for the 300th time in the last 5 minutes. And I'm saying, and I know sometimes we got to check our phones, you know, but we all need to be present if we want our guests to be present. Right? Is this making sense? Thank you. So, as the energy builds out of a goal-setting session or a reason why session, everybody in that room should feel the emotion coming up, and it should go from their head to their heart, and they should be all in with you. How do you know if they're all in with you? Who can tell me? Awesome. That was crickets. Even if you give the wrong answer, at least you're giving an answer. I learned this from Dennis Franks years ago when I gave the wrong answer in front of 1,000 people in a breakout session. But the bottom line is he's like, yeah, no, Cullen's wrong. But that's why he's on the dream team, because you don't give a crap if he's wrong, and he still makes a lot of money. But I was willing to be bold and yell it out. So what do you think the answer is? Ticket sales, that's it. If you have people, listen, how many of you guys want a huge line at your ticket sales table at your first break? Come on, let me hear you. Thank you, awesome. So what's going to happen is this. You got to go first. So what I was noticing, one thing I learned in Team Tampa Bay was people were coming in the room. We doing the online ticket sales, so people can pre-order and then they can pick up their tickets at the day of the event. It was making it administratively simple for my admin team, so that's great. But the problem is people would walk in the room and they just walk over to the table and pick up their tickets and then go to their seat. So if Andrew and I are sitting together and Andrew's my guest, and then all of a sudden the speaker says, "Hey, go get your tickets." Big, huge buildup, big crescendo, right? All right, go get your tickets. And then I would stand up, because I already picked up my tickets, and I would just turn and just start talking to Andrew. And everybody just turns and starts talking to the person next to him. Nobody's moving. So what happens is the guests are watching. They're going, who's going to get their tickets? Nobody. I mean a few people, but no. There's no energy, see. So if I stand up and I don't have my tickets yet, and it's the first break, and I stand up and I say, Andrew, come on, hey, I got to go get my tickets. I got to go. Come with me. And then Andrew and I are going to go get our tickets together. He's my guest. Now, I don't expect him to buy 4 today. I want him to buy 4 because we're going to sell them, right? We're going to do this thing together, right? But even if he gets his 1 and I buy my tickets, he's committed to coming back to the next event. So, now, the team. Can I share a learn with you guys? Thank you. So, an event recently, we had the build-up. We had the crescendo. Like the energy was high, right? Everybody was on the edge of their seat. I mean, it was unbelievable in this area. So we send them. There's a rush to the back of the room. I mean, it was picture perfect. The line was all the way back. So we're doing our thing. Now, as everybody's going into the break, now, we got a little music playing. But then somebody comes up behind me and starts talking. Don't do that. Because the energy is all there, and now the person talking is crushing the energy of what the next step was. They can come back up after the break and share an announcement. But not now. Not now is the work is back there. Well, we did debrief on it. They were very open. It was great. But yeah. So, yeah, brains make it. So, but here's the other thing. As we send them to the back of the room, so you have this huge line, everything's rocking, I did a ticket limiter. What's it called, please? Thank you. So here's what I said, I already know in my head. I asked the person who I'm coming to, who is selling their next tickets, how many tickets is a sellout for you? Because they have tickets in different areas. They said, if you sell 200 a day, Man, that would be incredible. I said, okay. So in my head, I say 200. I got 78 in the room, doing the math. They're going to sell 4-packs of tickets. So I'm thinking, all right, if I say 50, 50 is probably too high a number. I'm going to say 40. I'm going to say, for the first 40 of you that go to the back and get your tickets right now, we're going to put your name into a hat, and we're going to do a drawing for a coaching session with me at the end of the day. And not only that, we're going to give away a ticket. We're going to give away a World Conference ticket. We make it a big deal. But you got to go now. Because once we move those 40, don't come crying to me. Now, you can't do that every time, or else then the audience is like, is that number real, or are you telling the truth? I was given a real number. I was a little bit lower than the 200. It was like 150 something, but I knew it would get the push. We had about 10 left in the line. The admin people didn't have the packets already. They didn't think we were going to sell that many. But I'm like, I'm here. We're selling that many. Like, I mean, why would you give energy to the fact that we're not going to sell that many? Are you with me here? Because see, we set the goal. We set the intention. Everything that we created leading up to that moment, this is where we're going, and we're going to nail our goal. So what they did is, and this is all about a learn, by the way. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, and that's why I'm not mentioning no names. But what happened is, you like that, JR? All right, so here's what happens, is they go to the back, and then the 10 that were left in line, they send them back to their seats because we don't have the packets ready. And I come walking back from the restroom break, and I'm like, all right, so how's everything going? I'm like, we should be well over our ticket goal. And they're like, well, we had to send these 10 back to the, and I go, what? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, you always collect the money. And then say, come back at the later break and come pick up our packet. But you're going to give me the money now. Because here's the deal. And everybody, including you, is doing the best job they can at the time. At the time. So I'm not mad, but it's a great learn for the team to say, man, because do you think those 10 came back at the next break? No. They didn't. I think 2 came back. We lost 8 of them that were ready to make a commitment to say, I'm ready to take my business to the next level. I'm ready to go. And then we squashed it for those last 8. And I really feel bad for those last 8 is the deal. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's not about selling a ticket, you guys. It's about setting people free. Yeah. This is about the vision, the hope, the mission of what we're about. This is what we're selling, right? So what are the 3 reasons that people don't buy? Let's just get the elephant out in the room. What are the 3 reasons why people don't buy? Okay, so let's go with lack. I like that. Lack. And so we have lack. And there's three main reasons, right? So if we say lack, one reason of objections people give is what? Lack of what? Time. So time. Cullen, I would love to come to that seminar, but I really just don't have time. I'm really busy. You don't understand, I'm double booked. I am so busy, I can't make it happen no matter what. This is what people convince. And what you got to realize is this. People are not that busy. I mean, we're busy, but it's priorities. What's that word? Priorities. Thank you. It's their priorities, and what you got to realize with many people, it's their default. Default answer to their brain without even thinking. They didn't even check their calendar. They're just, I'm too busy. That's what they say to everybody. What they're saying to you is, I have a lack of time in my life, and you have the answer to that. But is that really a concern, or is it an objection? Is it a pushback, or what are they asking me? Does this make sense? It's all a matter of priorities, all right? I got a short video. I don't have PowerPoints today, but I got a short video. Check. Now, this is short, and it's to the point, but you got to listen closely. First of all, let me set it up. Marcus Lemonis, multi-millionaire investor in businesses. And this guy in the clip wants him to invest in his business. You guys tracking with me so far? So this guy wants Marcus's money to help him make his business bigger. Now watch this.
Okay, we'll figure it out. No, it's nothing to figure out. Next weekend. It's going to have to be the next one. I'm going next weekend. I won't be there. You got a wedding or something? I have a very important, I've got to travel. We've got a lot of work to do now to get all that stuff there and everything. So I would rather do it in 2 weeks. So I can't. You're already ready to go. I'm going. All right. Okay? All right. Okay, brother. I'll see you there. Appreciate it.
What happened? Marcus Lemonis looked at him with a smile and said, 2 weeks doesn't work for me. You want me to work with you. I'm going to be in Miami next weekend. Are you in or are you out? Now, he didn't do it to be rude, but he postured up. Did you guys see that? And what did the guy do? He immediately was like, all right, well, yeah, I'll see you next week in Miami. He made it happen. This was like 3 days ago on TV, and I took my phone and just for this segment. Because I think what people don't realize is you think that it's market America's, like this is business 101. Marcus Lemonis is a power player in the business arena, and he's a great investor, and he'll be a great partner for this guy, but he's testing this guy's commitment. Isn't that what we're doing when we meet with people? So if they give you the objection of time, and I have absolutely, I'm double booked, and I say, are you kidding to me? You kidding? I got Bradley Cooper coming. I got backstage passes to Bradley Cooper that day. Man, they are going to free up that calendar so fast and be with you backstage with Bradley Cooper. You know what I'm saying here? Because but the priorities, it's time. So time is silly. Time is basically them telling you, I'm not with you yet. You don't got me yet. That's what they're saying. I'm not with you yet. And then we have a lack of money. Now this one's pretty simple, right? Because I usually joke with people. I joke a lot and I smile a lot because then it's hard for them to get pissed at me. Right? Does that make sense? Because you guys have always heard it, right? The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. Yeah, that's what happens. But here's the deal. Money, really? I seen that depreciating asset you just pulled up in. And then you tell me you don't have the money. See, it's priorities again. How bad do you want what you just got done telling me you want to spend more time with your kids. You just got done telling me you wanted to get away from the kids someday. You just got done telling me that you want to vacation more. See, you have to uncover what this person wants that they don't currently have to then take that and say, is it that important that money or time is not going to get in that person's way? Is this making sense? Yes. Thank you. And the last one is, and this is a big one. What's that word, please? Trust. Thank you. Lack of trust. This is really the thing, from my experience, that I notice a lot is that's really the number one. If most people are pretty decent about 1 and 2, most of you guys, most of your team, selling a ticket, moving a ticket to somebody, time, money, really it's not that big a deal. Are you kidding? People spending thousands and thousands of dollars. Personal development trainings last year, Tony Robbins and Damon John, $98 billion. And I can guarantee you, none of us, because I attend them, I never sit there and go, man, this is a long day. Never. I sit there and go, I look at my watch and go, man, this day is flying by. Because they got me, man. They have my attention because I want something more in my life. So if you feel that way, like the team was already addressing with the local seminars or whatever, the day's a long day, you or your team, right? I'm sure there's none of you guys because you guys are here. This is why you're here. But people on our team will say things like this, and I can just tell they're just not all in. They're not all in on the team. They're not all in on franchise owner. But do you trust the company? Do you trust the products? Do you trust me? That's number 3. And number 4, which is most important of all, do they trust themselves in making this decision? What we don't know, you guys, when we're meeting with somebody, you're trying to move a ticket to somebody, you're trying to move a product to somebody, you don't know what's going on in their life. We don't know what happened this last week. We don't know what happened at their job, with their spouse, with whatever. See, we just think everybody's going to buy a ticket, it's unicorns and rainbows, and it's great. But that's not the case with everybody. It depends where these are all, by the way, defaults. Meaning, this is what people default to. So I'm always trying to recognize where are they going with their energy with me, so then I can put them into a category and say, ooh, I know where they're going, and then I know how to overcome that. No problem. If they really want to make a change, we're going to sell that ticket. Marketing versus promotion. Facebook, email blast. We send out an announcement. Thank you. We send out an announcement, and it says, hey, we got we got an all-star seminar coming up, Team Tampa Bay. This is who's going to be speaking. This is an announcement. But that's not marketing. That's not promoting very well. What's in it for everybody? We have over 100 hours, 100 years, more than 100 hours, 100 years of successful unfranchised owner business building track record that are going to present that day. We want to put the value so high with the team that we have in place that are going to be presenting. And if you're doing a one-off speaker and it's one person coming to speak at your local seminar, you need to promote them as they are the person that's going to come in. This weekend could change your life if you let it. We have to slow down sometimes too, and this is something I had to learn. It didn't come natural to Cullen. Jim remembers back in the day, come down for a UBP and I'd be like, da, da, da. He's like, woo, Cullen, man, this is before a wake or anything, you know what I mean? He's just like, slow down for a second, man. Let people digest what you're saying, man. So I had to practice. What's that word? Practice. Thank you. I had to practice. I had to want to become better at presenting, not for me, but for the audience. See, who's taking action on Monday? That's really what matters if you're the one speaking, right? Isn't that what we're measuring? How many tickets did we sell? And then moving into the next event, how many more butts do we have in the seat? If all of this is working synergistically, then we all grow. True or true? True. Yeah. See, science, research shows that the human brain can go about 10 minutes before it starts to check out. That's the deal. So that's why I use accelerated learning techniques. That's why I like it. Now, it might not be your cup of tea. That's why I ask you to repeat some things. That's why I ask the audience to fill in the sentence sometimes with your word. See, this is why I get you to do the stretch. This is why, because I feel like when I can raise the energy and I keep people engaged, then that day goes by super fast and they go, when's the next one? I'll come to that next one. That was unbelievable. It's not Cullen's way. This is science and research that shows that if we keep people engaged, that's training versus speaking. We want to become better trainers. If we want the GMTSS to become better, then we all have to become better too. Yep. And it doesn't mean you have to become someone else. I feel like, one of the biggest compliments people pay to me is they say, you know what, you're a little bit of, JR, and you're a little bit of Don Martin, and you're a little bit of, they start naming people off. And the more people they name off, I'm just like, man, that's awesome, because I grew up in the GMTSS, and I grew up around all these people that I just try to take a little nugget from everybody, and that's the way you got to be thinking about plugging your people into the team, okay?